Hey guys, welcome to Massive Iron Live. It is Friday, September 24th. Glad to have you guys on board. Let me just make sure my camera is good here. I'll be on as long as you guys have questions, so feel free to fire them up. If you're new, do not be shy. Do not be shy. Post up your questions. I'll answer everything. And nothing is a dumb question unless it's a stupid question. Then it's a really dumb question. So a few housekeeping things. If you're new here, sometimes YouTube acts up and doesn't post your questions. That's not me ignoring you. So you might even see your question, but I can't see your question. It's a glitch with YouTube. Sometimes it's tied to the length of the question being too long. So if you don't get an answer to your question, you think I'm ignoring you, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman, and I would be glad to help. All right, so let me know how you guys are doing, where you're from, and what you guys got going on this weekend. A couple housekeeping notes. I am launching Team Massive Iron, and it's got a ton of stuff that you get. So check out the link down below. I'm not going to do a big, long commercial, but I do have a pre-order, and you can check out the video yesterday. It officially launches on October 1st. But right now, if you're one of the first 20, you either get a free t-shirt or a free creatine. It's $99 for life until I kick the bucket, or until I'm no longer, no one cares about me. So for $99, you get a ton of stuff. You get 4 free PDF books, a lot of great content. You get form video help, or you get form help. You can ask me questions. We get a lot of different groups, all that kind of good stuff, challenges, you name it. So check that out down below. Get on that. Give yourself an early Christmas present. So I got back I'm going to tell you guys a quick story, and then we'll jump in today. The video, I got back last weekend. I ran the Barkley Fall Classic with my wife, which many websites and runners listed as one of the top hardest 50Ks in the U.S. Okay, that's not my opinion. That's what a lot of top trail run people, magazines, bloggers, whatever, label it. Okay, so I got back. I did mediocre. My wife did really good. And we decided to make a video about it. And this isn't a little bit of an odd story, but we decided to make a video about it. And just completely harmless. Hey, I competed in the Barkley and whatever. And all of a sudden, some runner that competed in there is like yelling at me in the comments that I just made a video for clickbait and I didn't really run the Barkley. I just ran the Barkley Fall Classic and I was trying to fool people. So the guy is going ape shit, right? And he posts over in the Barkley group that I'm trying to fool people and that I'm disingenuous and all kinds of stuff. And and I'm just posting it for clickbait. And the funny thing is, and you guys can see this, you can check the numbers. Whenever I post a running video on here, it gets like half or a third of the views. So I knew that going in. If I'm going to post a video about running, it's going to get jack shit for views. But I did it anyway, just to kind of give you guys my impression of the Barkley Fall Classic. But this guy just went after us like we were trying to fool somebody, that we ran the big Barkley, all kinds of stuff. So I deleted the video. I didn't need that drama in my life. All right, let's get on with things. Stein's always first in. Stein's like a wizard. I don't know how he does it, but every week Stein gets in before everybody. So I hope you're doing well, Stein. And Richard is always in as well. And Richard, we're looking seriously at a move to Scotland, but my buddy Faz is trying to convince me to move to Ireland. So convince me, Richard, why I should choose Scotland over Ireland. I've been to Scotland, but never Ireland. And I like Scotland. I like the people. I like the feel of the country. But anyway, let's jump in. Josh, how often should we change out compound lifts? There's no reason to ever change out a compound lift unless it's injuring you. or it's something like squats and deadlifts where you just can't figure out form because of your body types, limb lengths, or other issues, and you've worked on it for a long period of time. But there's no need to change out compound lifts. If this is founded in the idea that that muscle confusion is necessary, that's a nonsense idea. What you want is a good selection of exercises with a wide progression window. What is a wide progression window? That means you have a lot of potential to get stronger. So barbell bench, dumbbell bench, even a machine chest press, if you think about it, usually they have a wide progression window. You can do plate loaded chest press. Pec deck does as well. I mean, you can get a lot stronger on pec deck as opposed to, let's say, a dumbbell fly where it's a more limited progression window. And I'm not bashing on dumbbell flies, but Josh, there's no need to ever change out compound lifts. I've been doing the same basic core lifts all my life. Scotty Mack, what's going on, Scotty? I've been unwell the past few months, but back in training, and I hope you all are well. Gym's still open in Scotland. Fingers crossed. Hope you're doing good, Scotty. And I have a good client in Scotland, and I've watched the headaches he's had to undergo with gym, so I know it's a big pain in the butt. Scruffy like a boss. When do you perform dumbbell bench instead of barbell version? It depends on your program. Most programs I put together have both in them, either over a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So you basically have to do about, anywhere. I like to put about 12 sets in for most body parts, major body parts. That's a hair high compared to like a lot of the hypertrophy, the meta-analysis on hypertrophy. The science is saying about 10 sets, but I go a little bit higher and a little bit high side of 12. It's funny because 12 used to be low, right? But in that mix, I do a barbell and a dumbbell variation, something like dips and push-ups superset, and generally a isolation exercise. So I would have to see your program. I would recommend checking out my programs at superlivingtoday.com. I have tons of them. Most of them are only $9.99, and it'll kind of show you how I work dumbbell and barbell in. But you should be doing each at least every other week. What I did for a long time, because I was not as barbell centric as a lot of guys, I would do barbell bench one week and then dumbbell bench the next. Richard, looking forward to October 1st and buying massive. I actually opened it up today. And I could give you guys a little sneak peek if you don't mind. The first 10 people in, I opened it up for them, and I'll try to give you a little bit of a sneaky peeky what it's like. It is on Discord, and I want to move off a regular forum, so I'm going to give you a little sneaky peeky here. Hold on, folks. Where's the share screen? You guys can get in now. Okay, so I'm in some other groups, but this is what it looks like. If you look on the left, you have menus, the rules, and then you have channels, introductions, which is the one we're looking at here. We have the locker room where we're going to put off-topic stuff, recipe talk, weight loss support group, workout help. You can go in there and like the previous question, Scruffy like a boss, you can go in there and post a question. I'm going to answer it. So it's like having a coach when you need one, and when you don't have a live video available. Ask BHUD, which is right here. You'll be able to ask me anything, or you can DM me directly if you don't want it public. My wife will have an Ask Fiona group, and we have a ladies only group. We're going to have monthly challenges, and I'm trying to decide right now, hey, what should we do for our first monthly challenge? And then we have down here, you see squat form review, deadlift form review, bench form review, and other lift review. Members can post a lift once a week, and help them out. And we have Team Massive down below, Team Massive strength, muscle building, running, and YouTube. So if you want to get in now. I'm letting the guys in early. I had planned on October 1st, but I want to get a few guys in early. So, hop in if you want. I'd love to have you on board. And if you're one of the first 20, you get a t-shirt or Creatine. Zalira, I don't know why I messed that up. How's it going, man? Appreciate you joining me. And BKS Gaming, hello, how's it going? Felix79, hello from Colorado. How's it going, Felix? Stein, have you ever done high experimented with high volume training? I've experimented with everything, Stein. And one of the things I loved most about lifting was programming. I really, really loved workouts and different workout types. Oops, my wife's bringing in my dog. So I've experimented with everything. We're going to take a break just for a second. We have dual overhead snossages. We have 2 snossages. Here's my snossage. His official name is Mr. Jelly. That's what my wife calls him. But I call him P. Snoops because he sounds like Snoopy. So this is P. Snoops. And this is Mr. B. Butters of Butterville, which we call Bubba. Big Bubba's getting. Yeah, so this is my guy. He's going to sleep on my lap while we do our live video.
Yes.
Okay. And he's got his blue commando outfit on. Okay. All right, Spaz.
I'm going to hair salon.
Okay, have fun.
Okay. I need to take keys.
All right, she needs to take keys. Keep that closed if you mind so he doesn't get out of here. All right, Stein, back to your question. Sorry. I'm covered in dog spit. Have you ever done high volume training? Yes, I have. And you still need a progression approach. What I find is best is to not do all body parts with high volume. If you want to experiment it, I believe you should do more of a specialization where you're doing a little bit of frequency. Now, let me put a caveat on this. We tend to look at high volume training as something you do 1 day a week, like in part of a bro or body part split. But what are you crying for? But we have to think of volume over the course of a week. So in one of my workouts, let's say you have 12 sets per week, and you want to try high volume for a body part and do 20 sets in a week. You don't have to do that in one workout. You can do that in 2 or 3. So just understand that. And one of the best ways to do high volume is to not do high volume at all, with all body parts at the same time, but rather do a specialization. So you could do a specialization back where you're just doing back high volume, but you got to keep your progression approach. It's going to be hard, right? And then you could maybe move on to the next block of doing chest specialization, etc. You probably don't want to do it for a long period of time, maybe 3-4 months, etc. But beyond that, you might start to beat up your body. And Dave Argentino, hey, Big Hairy Ugly Dude, lungs recovered from your run. My conditioning and lungs are usually good. Actually, I woke up the next day feeling fine. It's funny how good my recovery is right now. I just never, if I run 2 days a week, 2 days in a row, or I lift 2 days in a row, then I usually feel like I need a recovery day. But if I just go out and run one day, even if it's intense, I feel pretty good the next day. Felix, been out of the gym for 2 weeks due to being sick. Felix, I did not approve you getting sick. You did not submit the proper paperwork. This was not an approved illness. My dog's just being a spaz right now. Should I continue to lift where I left off or take it easy? Good question. I have a 10-day rule, and this is flexible, meaning, it's not a carved in stone rule. But generally, if it's been 10 days since I did the same lift previously, then I feel pretty safe going back to the same weight. So let's say someone did squats 275 by 10, and it's been 10 days since they lifted, then yeah, you could probably go back to the same weight. But when you are sick, you have other things going on. Obviously, your body has been working hard. Your immune system's been under stress. Your body's been under stress. So it might not be a bad idea if you're sick to take maybe 10% of the weight off and really listen to your body during warm-ups, because you do not want to get injured. If you take time off from the gym and you're not being sick, then the 10-day rule is pretty good. If you now he's chewing my thing. If it's longer than 10 days, you probably need to really be cautious during warm-ups. A lot of times it's not the muscles itself that can't handle it, but I find my connective tissue and joints tend to crash faster than the muscles. So I really have to be, detrained faster than the muscles. So I feel I really need to be careful with connective tissue, etc. So you might want to, if it's longer than 10 days, you might want to drop the weight 10, 15% and really just stop sets. Be cautious and stop sets if anything feels funky. So I hope that helps. Dominique, is the creatine not available for sale by itself? The website says sold out. Well, here's the funny thing. I thought I had like 4 or 5 units left. So what I did was they're being shipped out by the manufacturer. I don't ship them myself. So the manufacturer is drop shipping them for me. But I thought I had 4 units left, and I'm pretty sure I did. But when I asked the manufacturer to send me the remaining units, because I was just going to keep them for myself, I marked them as sold out in the store, and they sent back like 24 units. So it looks like they made an overrun of like 10%, just probably in case there was any damage or issues with the ones they made. So I have about 20 sitting around. They're not for sale right now. I'm going to give them away to anybody that signs up to the Team Massive Iron, which is linked down below. Come on, sign up, guys. Get on there. Get on there. It's the best $99 you're going to spend all year. And, there's so many of you that I talk to week in and week out, and I miss the community of muscle and brawn. And, if I was just, just sign up. Come on and sign up. Sebastian, I think I hurt my left ankle running with heel strike. Any advice? Well, Sebastian, the first thing I would ask is, are you running on pavement? And we have to kind of troubleshoot. And if you are running on pavement, I would advise you not to as a starting point. But from what I understand, pavement is about 6 times harder on the joints than trails. I never have issues on the trails. And if you have a left ankle issue right now, what's going to happen is you're probably overcompensate, and you might pick up a right or left hip strain, and then that might travel down to your knees and all kinds of stuff. So heal and let me know if you're running on pavement or on trails. And I'm going to say something about trails, and this is not directed at Sebastian. Let me see if I can give you guys an example here. But many people approach me about running, and I say, you got to run on a trail. And they're like, man, there's no trails around me. There's no trails around me. There are literally, like in my area, when you go to like alltrails.com or a trail running or hiking app, my area within like 30 minutes, there's literally like 50 trails. So make sure you check out a trail app, because you're probably going to find more than you think. Willie Mead. Hey, Willie Mead from Southwest Virginia, Coburn. Let's see, Southwest. I know exactly where you are, Willie. I lived in Virginia for a while. I was in the military at Fort Lee and traveled through that way, through West Virginia, many times. Milo, hello from Sweden. If I do 1 day heavy deadlifts and 2nd day speed dynamic deadlifts, okay or not? Well, Milo, the thing I'll say is heavy, don't train above 90% of your 1 rep max. There's very little reward and a lot more risk. There's just not a lot of value. Could you do a speed day that week? Yeah, you could. There's no harm in it. I am a big fan also of only floor deadlifting every other week and then doing something the other week. So you might want to consider floor deads, heavier floor deads one week, and then speed dynamic deads the next. That's a good option as well. But if you're feeling okay, there's no reason to change it. I am not a big fan of speed work. Now, I'm not saying it has no value, and I'm not saying it has, you can't find value in it. But me personally, you only have so many hours in a week to train, only so much time, only so many sets and movement. I don't find that there's a lot of value in speed work when looking under that lens, if that makes any sense. How to improve cardio to make weightlifting better? I am not really sure, to be honest, Stein, that like if somebody is really overweight, and they got a lot of visceral fat and they're struggling a lot, then one of the best things they need to do to improve their conditioning is to get their heart healthy and get their weight down. And that'll help a lot of people just function better and get through their workouts better. But in general, for the average individual, consider weightlifting like a road, and there are obstacles on the road that impede your ability to drive consistently forward on that road. If you're sitting a lot, maybe you're not getting 7,500 steps a day, which is a good baseline, then you probably want to get your daily steps up to 7,500 as a baseline for movement and general health. Beyond that, you want to do probably an hour of activity. I hate to say cardio, activity a week that isn't just your basic steps: hiking, biking, running, walking, yoga, swimming, whatever, general activity. Don't think of it as cardio. If you want to be trapped in a gym doing gym cardio, by all means, bore yourself to death. But beyond the 7,500 steps a day, you want probably an hour a week as a baseline of extra activity in and above the 7,500 steps: swimming, biking, running, hiking, whatever, extra sex, bowling, I don't care, ballroom dancing, MMA training, whatever it is, yoga. Beyond that, you probably want to do something every week that gets your heart rate up. Now, I like to do hiking and running for this reason. Hiking is brilliant for most people, as can be swimming. And you can also do this with elliptical and whatever. Do something each week that gets your heart rate up a little bit. I don't like to do something that sustains an elevated heart rate, but when I do elliptical, my gym's right back there, and I put up that black little thing, that sheet, because it gets so bright behind me that it changes the dynamic of the camera. But when I do elliptical, what I do is 5 minutes of a warm-up, and then every minute thereafter, the last 15 seconds, I go hard. I go as hard as I feel comfortable with for those 15 seconds. And then when the clock gets back to the top of the hour, top of the minute, for the next 45 seconds, I just do a slow, continuous pace. So I hesitate to call it HIIT, but I just do these periods where I do 15-second speed ups. And it gets my heart rate elevated and sustained a little bit better than doing boring cardio. So I hope that helps some, Stein. Can I do chin-ups to replace lat pull-downs on top of doing pull-ups on the same day? I don't. I like the combination of a lat pull-down and a pull-up. Okay, and pull-ups can be neutral grip as well. I like that combination. I wouldn't, because one's a machine and one's a body weight. They're two different types of movements. What I would consider is rotating. Oops, where's the crying little baby? He wants to come up. I would consider rotating in movements. So doing like a lat pull down and a chin up, or a pull up and a chin up every other workout. Or you could even do pull-ups and chin-ups every other set while keeping lat pull-downs in the mix. That's my opinion. It's better to do both than to replace. Find a way to work them in. Peter, quick question. I lift 3 days split 6 times a week for 4 years. Went from 60 to 75 kilos during that time. I'm about 17 to 20% body fat. I have a big issue to get to 225 bench. Well, Peter, the honest truth is, without looking at all the nuts and bolts and stuff, there's not a lot I can do to help you. Your weight is moving up, so that is a positive thing. Most people that struggle on bench are not seeing a weight increase. So it seems like you have that nailed down. I would have to look at programming. And Peter, you can email me on, or you can message me on Instagram at Ben the Barman. You can also consider the new service, the Team Massive Iron service, which is linked down below. It's $99 for life, or my life, whichever comes first. I might become immortal. Who knows? By the time we never know what direction science is headed. So beyond that, I also have over at my website, superlivingtoday.com, a big bench press course, which has like 16 bench workouts that can help you. And that is reasonably cheap. If you go with the Team Massive, it's free with that. So just consider that as well. Beyond that, I'd be happy to look at it as a one-off, look at your programming and give you a little bit of advice. Scruffy like a boss. Opinions on type of progressions on movements after linear progression runs out. I don't like linear progression at all. It's very limited. The progression approach I use in my book Massive Iron is basically maximizing the sets. We have the rep goal system, and when you get to a certain rep goal or whatever, then you add weight. A lot of times with my clients, what I do is the second or third set is max safe reps, and if you hit like say 10 or on that last set or 2 more than the goal, then you add weight. There's many ways to progress, but check out my book Massive Iron and some of my workouts, for some ideas. And honestly, I talk about progression a ton. There's a ton of videos on this channel, and progression doesn't have to be complicated, but head over to the main page for this channel and check out the search button and just type in progression, see what you can find. Charlie, what's going on, Charlie? Listening in while hitting a workout. Have a good workout, Nigel. I appreciate it. And I hope you're having a good Friday. Thank you. My wife is off getting her hair done, and I'm just sitting around talking to the worldwide interweb. Breezy, hello from Hocking Hills, Ohio. Breezy knows what's going on. Ohio has an amazing a system of trails. Just a brilliant system. We got a lot of nature preserves and stuff like that. So just a beautiful state for people that love the outdoors, in my opinion. All right. Love your programming, shows, and your workouts. They're awesome. Thank you, Stein. I appreciate it. And Shivam, love from India, man. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope all is well with you and your family. Scotland, great whiskey, great scenery, plenty of lifting stones, beautiful country, too much rain. I like the cold and rain, so I'm good with that. But, as somebody that lives in Scotland, Richard, what are the pros and cons of Ireland? Is there anything about Ireland that's better than Scotland, and anything about Ireland that's worse than Scotland? Let's start a war, shall we? Have you personally seen a difference between doing 10 sets versus no, not at all. The biggest difference I've seen in my life is just doing hard sets. I just always train hard. Some days I'll feel a little bit better, and I'll add in more work. But I keep that a little bit pliable. I think that's the best way to do it. But no, what you really want to do is just focus on hard work. All right, let me get a drink here, guys. We're 30 minutes in. Keep the questions coming. I'll stay on as long as you have questions. And if the questions run out, I'm going to jump ship. But holy crap, you guys have a lot of them. So keep them coming. Can you work with someone around injury? Absolutely. I've worked with many people in my day, even Special Olympians, people with extreme disabilities, from blindness to major hip issues. I would work with folks that have severe cognitive issues. So we can work around anything. It is, if you have the will to be healthy and get in shape, we can work around anything. Thoughts on unilateral leg exercises? Well, Red Wild Bear, I believe there is a good case to be made for having one unilateral exercise per major muscle group per week. A lot of the research shows, and correct me if I'm wrong, that when doing a unilateral exercise, when doing one arm or one leg at a time, the central nervous system kind of kicks up a notch and focuses on that one arm or one leg, and you can tend to move or perform better with just one arm or one leg at a time. What do I mean? Let's say you barbell row 185, okay, for 10 reps. You probably are dumbbell rowing you should be dumbbell rowing 120 for 10 at that level. So if you do 120 by 10 times 2, it'd be 240 by 10. You're stronger with one arm than with both arms. So big fan of unilateral exercises as for that reason. You can generally lift more weight per limb, and it's a good variety. So unilateral leg exercises, you have Bulgarian split squats, you have lunges, single leg extensions, single leg press, etc. No real magic. Try some of them, see what you like. I think I find the single leg press to be the most awkward, but that can really vary on machines. Your opinion on the Arnold splits? Well, the thing I like, let's set the split aside for a moment. Arnold would work with very limited rest between sets, maybe a minute-ish, so he could get in more volume. And Arnold would work hard. A lot of his sets would be taken to the limit. So Arnold had a lot of things beyond the split that we need to pay attention to. A split is just a framework, right? And think of it like a car. You can have a car frame, but a shitty engine, a shitty transmission, and shitty aerodynamics, and so on and so forth. So I want to encourage you guys not to worry about the split so much, but what the engine and transmission and aerodynamics of that split are. What are the mechanisms that make it go? Any split can basically work if you have the right framework or if you have the right engine to power it. Do you still stream with a supplement engineer? No, I do not. No hard feelings, but one day I woke up and he was off Instagram, and I hadn't realized it for like 3 weeks. And just quite honestly, just being frank, when I'm trying to do a supplement line with somebody, with a partner, and they disappear off social media, I'm left to do a lot of the extra work. And I don't have time for it. You don't make any money off supplements. It's hard to make money off supplements. It's a very narrow margin. I did it for fun, and we wanted to see what we could create as far as good products. But, just being frank, if my partner is going to not be on social media, that means extra work for me, and it's just not worth it at that point. Do you have clients that struggle with weight gain? Absolutely, Justin. I have clients that are a wide variety of clients, some that are really inconsistent with calorie intake and they're on the lighter side. And I really, really work with them to get their calories consistent. Some people that just struggle to eat a lot, they feel sick, and we try to find foods that they do like to eat that make it easier. So absolutely. And if you'd like help, I'd be glad to help you. If you don't want full-time coaching, the Team Massive Iron is linked down below. And remember, guys, for those of you tuning in late, link down below to the new Team Massive Iron. The first 20 guys get a free Massive Creatine Plus or a free t-shirt. And I've had about 11 or 12 people sign up. I put out a video later last night. So please get in today. I'd love to get to 20 today. I'm not a big channel. And, all things considered, this isn't something that's going to make me a fortune or buy me a Lamborghini like Greg Doucette or whatever the hell he bought. It's just a way. I've been looking for ways to get involved with more people beyond coaching, have options for folks. And I really wanted to put together something with a lot of value. You pay a one-time fee of $99. And as long as I'm alive, or the forum is alive, you get to pop in, get help with forum workouts or just accountability. All righty. Will micro-coaching clients get access to the server? Yes, they will. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be messaging my clients. Existing clients get the service. I can't go through and bother, old clients. Trying to figure out what my wife's dog is doing. I can't go through and message my old clients, but if you're interested and you're a previous client, just message me and I'll let you in. Are fly movements necessary? No, not at all. In the hierarchy of things, you have a barbell movement, which can be barbell flat, incline, or decline. And then you have dumbbell movements, flat, incline, decline. I like dips and push-ups as a superset. So you have 3 big movements right there, and you're really pushing chest growth right there. And then from the what's left, it's a good idea to have things with a big, broad progression window. So you have machine chest press, plate-loaded chest press. Then you have pec deck. And then kind of at the bottom of the rung are cable crossovers and dumbbell flies. They're not bad exercises. You can certainly rotate them in, but they're probably going to be the last in line, like more of a pump work or more of a finisher type of thing. Any recommended books about training? Yes. Hold on one second. We're going to pull this up. Where are you? Hold on, folks. We're pulling up the worldwide interwebs. Oh, silly worldwide interwebs. I'm going to recommend a book that I put together. So this is a hardcover book, or not a hardcover, soft cover. Over my website, if you go to the store and then you go down to books, you have the massive Muscle and Brawn archives. I ran a forum and a site for many years called Muscle and Brawn. I sold it. I didn't have time to maintain it. It's now a steaming pile of shit, to be honest with you, where they promote fake steroids and crap like that. Nothing I can do about it. But this book is huge. 449 pages, packed with everything from German volume training to Russian squat cycles, just crammed with information. So if you love programming on any level, this book is worth considering because it is a true gem. So do I make a lot of money off books? No. I don't make any money off books and t-shirts, okay? But ebooks, yes. But these types of books, no. But this is a really good book, and it's available as an ebook as well. Excuse me. Here are my ebooks for those of you that don't really care for real books. Have you ever tried mountaineering? Week-long treks. Well, I was in the military, Ian, and excuse me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I did a lot of work with the night land navigation team on my base. We wouldn't do week-long treks, but we would do treks at night from point A to point B. I never really did mountaineering. I'm a big outdoorsman. I don't do a lot of overnight hikes. I'd like to. I just don't have time. But no, sir, I do not. I have not. Even when I push myself close to failure, after a while, I feel as if I could go for another round and train again. Does that mean I haven't done enough? No, but you need to understand you need to understand training. Training has a specific function, and that is to, maximize what you're doing for hypertrophy. So when you say you feel like you could go another round, if that means you could go another set, then by all means do so. The thing about pushing yourself to failure is you better be adding weight, okay? So if you're doing 135 on bench and you push yourself to failure and you never add weight, then you're not getting a lot out of your program. So I'd like to just want to make sure you're doing progressive overload. Because if not, that'll make it feel over time like you could continue to go on and on and on. Will Sean, I've gained weight and I'm doing a steady workout. Thanks to you and your advice. Thanks so much for the videos. Not only do I feel better, but I'm starting to look better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to get feedback. That's why I do this stuff. Daniel, will you continue to sell Creatine Plus? No. It's done after these last 20 units are gone. I just don't have the time to do all this, as one man. I mean, it cost me for 200 units, $3,000, and then I had to buy labels and all that kind of stuff. So, you're looking at like $3,500 investment to make $6,000. So you're making like basically $2,000 for 200 units or $10 a unit, which isn't a lot of money when you consider it takes me like 6 months to sell them. I ditched face pulls for my training and personally don't think that it caused any difference. I'm right there with you. I think face pulls are one of the most overrated exercises. I'm not saying they don't have value or can't have value. They certainly can. But holy cow, are they overrated. I learned that the basic compounds plus lateral hit rotator cuffs already. Well, you need to understand as well, you want to focus on rear delts. And rows, all the myriad of different types of rows and pull-ups and lat pull-downs and things like that will work the rear delts a lot. And after that, can you do rear delt flies or face pulls? Absolutely. But you do not need the obsession over them. Like if you're worried about posture and all that kind of stuff, do a lot of heavy rows for the love of God. If there's still a spot for the massive iron running, I call dibs. Well, Derek, there's a slot. You can come down and run. We're doing there's not a limit to who can run there. What I'm trying to do for most people, Derek, is give them coaching for a year because like I've run maybe 6,000 kilometers the last 4 or 5 years. And there's a lot I've learned about running, fueling, electrolytes, shoes, frequency. So what I'm really trying to do is find people that want to be coached and then get there. If you want to join, if you want to come along and run, you're more than welcome. Anybody's more than welcome. That is next July at Cacapon, West Virginia. But, I just can't do the coaching part for free. And I hope you understand. Stein, how much body movement is okay when doing pendlay rows? When you're in that pendlay row position, a little bit like you're pulling, right? And you're going to have, you're going to have a natural, as you explode your elbows back, the body's going to, kind of sway just slightly. It's okay to have a little bit of torso sway, just not like, where am I? Like if you're there, you don't want to like that. You don't want an exaggerated torso sway. A little bit of torso sway is perfectly fine. Trying to figure out what my dog is doing back there. Got my rotator cuff ligaments torn and now doing physiotherapy to strengthen them. Any advice to speed up the process? No, I'm not being dismissive, but that's out of my lane. No clue. I do not deal with injuries. I have no, I'm not a physician. I don't know about rotator cuff injuries. I'm just a meathead lifter, power builder. I love strength, muscle, and running. And I try not to be one of these YouTube fitness dickheads that believes he's an expert in everything. I have no idea, to be honest with you. How do you teach squats to a beginner online? Very good question. One thing you can't do is change 10 things at a time, because you put 10 things into someone's head and all of a sudden it's like way too much information overload. So it's kind of like training the martial arts or Tai Chi or something. You have to kind of take it one thing at a time, fix one thing at a time, get them to focus one thing at a time safely. There are safe squats and there are unsafe squats. So if someone has an unsafe squat, we work on off my video called Pick Up the Quarter, which is on this channel, and we get them to naturally descend while opening their knees and staying upright, etc., without weight. And then we move up from there. From there, most people are 70, 80, 90% of the way there. We start to work on one thing at a time. That could be usually opening your knees when you descend, because a lot of people keep their knees forward. A lot of people tend to do low bar just because they think they have to do low bar, and we might make a switch to high bar. We teach tightening or locking down the elbows. One of the things you don't see a lot is a deep breath and a bracing of the core before you descend. So we work on that. We work on core tightness and control as you descend, because if you just dive bomb and get all flappy, the squat tends to get loose. So there's a lot of things we work on, but usually, it's one thing at a time. Our front squats, leg curls and extensions, back extensions, BSS, and weighted hip thrusts enough to replace back squats and deadlifts? No. As far as squats, you got front squats, leg curls, and extensions. I don't think you got a pretty good exercise selection. If you're working out at home, I would work in lunges, alternating somewhere, somehow. At a gym, I would do hack squats or leg press. Deadlifts are more of a back exercise. So you need a really good battery of back exercises and yoke exercises, stuff to tax the traps, if that makes sense. Where in the foot do you personally put the pressure when running? I don't think about it at all. I mean, on trails, you got roots, rocks. The trail will sway this way. The trail will sway that way. The trail will go up here and sway this way. You just got to be smart and wise when running. I don't think about foot striking, heel striking. That's stuff for pavement runners, if you ask me. Like the last run we did this weekend was 90% hiking uphill, straight uphill, and there was very little running. So I don't really worry about it. It's not my area of expertise, but I know it matters a lot more on pavement. On high rep dumbbell rows, as well as driving the elbows back, do I give a bit of a drive with the hip? I don't really think about the hip. That's kind of a byproduct if it happens. What I think about is driving the shoulder and elbow back at the same time. If you put your arms straight forward, think about driving your shoulder and elbow back at the same time. You really get some strong backwards power. And if the hips sway a little bit in that process, that's okay. That'll be part. Whoops. My energy drink can just made a noise and scared my little doggy. Speed pulse. I pull 60% of my max. That's about 70 kilograms. I get more form practice. That's fine. But the issue I have with that is form breaks down under load. So I believe form practice is better with load than with speed work. That's just my opinion. Got my VersaGrip Pros. Now, back to what Milo said. There's nothing wrong with that if you're videoing it to make sure like your deadlifts you're not having major deadlift form issues, but you really need to be monitoring it either way. Got my VersaGrip Pros, and they're awesome. Able to add weight instantly. Perfect. And for any of you guys out there not using VersaGrip Pros, you need to use them. I get no money from this, but they are great for back strength, and they will help prevent elbow tendonitis, so you need to get them. If you read this, I love you to the moon and back. Unfortunately, yeah, that's what that's what you get when you love the big hairy ugly dude. It's kind of like a win and a loss at the same time. Guinness is better in Ireland. No snakes. Scotty, I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of really quality beer, and I just don't like Guinness. So I just have to be honest, sir. Does reducing rest between sets reduce the amount of hard work you can do per set? No. Hard work is basically getting the most out of a set you can and progressing when you can. You don't really want to do 30-second rest periods on compounds because that's becoming rest pause work. You can do rest pause work, but that's better on bench than it would be on squats necessarily. I have some programs where you can do rest pause work on deadlifts, but on compounds, you got to make sure your form is locked down before you get into that world. You're chasing rest in between sets rather than form and strength. You got to make sure your form is locked down, your progression is locked down. Loving 30-second rests, Sebastian, the only thing I'll say is you need to love progression more. Okay? You need to love progression 10 times more because rest is not progression. Limited rest can be okay, but limited rest is not progression. A minute to 90 seconds is about the best I would do. For the shortest, I would go for a compound movement. Scotland has way better whiskey and mountains to climb. Amen and amen. My questions are vanishing. Sorry, keep posting them or hit me up on Instagram at BenTheBarman. What's to be mindful of older lifters with goals for strength of the big three? Good question. Older lifters you don't need to build strength at high intensity loads. Like I do a bench program where it's 5, 10, 10, 20. So say you start with 135, you do 5 reps with it, 10 reps with it, 10 reps with it, and 20 reps with it. You can build strength with volume. That's one of the nonsense things in this industry. People think they need low rep, heavy, high intensity work to build strength. The best way to build strength, in my opinion, for someone that is older is to do it with volume. So that would be my best advice. Charlie, I lost some muscle and strength last month due to improving at swimming, rowing, and biking, but I struggle to redefine my weightlifting training to combine with other sports. Well, Charlie, the best advice I can give you is to understand that if you love doing these things, that you have to understand that you don't need to live in the gym. You could be doing 3 45-minute workouts a week. You could pare it down to only 2 sets per exercise as long as you have a hard focus on progression, and that would be fine. I try not to do any other training the day before deadlifts or squats, but beyond that, there's a good synergy that can be found. I help a lot of my clients, do just that. So if you need specific help, I can help you with one-off questions on Instagram at BenTheBarman, or come on over and join Team Massive, link down below. You think it's important to take a break from the gym? Do I think it's important? Taking a deload week every now and then, look, here's the way I look at it. 365 days in a year, right? I'm not going to be trained during Christmas, Thanksgiving, wherever you guys are from, just apply your holidays, right? I'm not going to be training during Christmas or New Year's or my birthday or when I'm on vacation or when I'm sick or whatever. So you have natural breaks from the gym. Those are the priorities. Those are the things where you really want to go and celebrate. Now, if you feel burned out mentally or physically, just take a couple extra days off. You don't have to plan a deload. If you go hard, though, for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight weeks in a row, it's probably a good idea to reset and take a week off, or maybe deload or go light or just don't go to the gym at all. You're not going to lose all your muscle. You really won't lose anything. But you can heal, eat, have fun, and take a mental break. I think that's important. Pros and cons. We're talking Scotland and Ireland. Visited Ireland twice, and it's a great place. Very similar. Good to know. Good to know. Thinking of starting trail running one time a week. Planning on starting tomorrow. Stein, what I'll say is run when you can, but don't run fast. This is a mistake too many people make. They go out and run, and they think it's a competition. They think they're going to set PRs every time. That's not how running is not the Super Bowl every day. It's not the World Cup every day. Run at conversational pace. Yesterday, I did a client call while running. I'm able to talk and converse while running, pretty much normally. That's conversational pace. And don't feel like you're a failure if you have to stop. Run when you can, walk when you can. Jeff, just joined a group. Thank you, Jeff, and I appreciate it. Looking forward to interacting with you guys and getting to know you. If we already pay for coaching, do we get Team Massive? Yes. I'm going to send a link and information to all my current clients either today or tomorrow, depending on how much time I have. But all current clients get access immediately. So they're going to get the free books. And the real benefit for current clients is they're going to be able to interact with other adults in a troll-free environment if they choose so. And when they're done with coaching, they can stay on and still interact with the community. Real shame about the creatine. It made a huge difference. Yeah, sorry, Ben. It's just one of those things in life, that sometimes you have a good thing and it's lost, beyond your control. And do I wish we would have had a chance to do some other amazing things? Yeah, I really do. But Ben, I'm sure you can respect at this time in my life, approaching age 54, I'm 100% done with bullshit. That doesn't mean people are bad people. They're not. But I'm on a train and I know where the train is going. And if somebody's not on the train, then God bless them. I hope they have a good life and I hope they find their way. They don't need to be on my train. But if they're not, I'm not going to slow it for anybody. Rico, glad to be back in the States. How's it going, Rico? Where in the heck were you? I remember you recommending 6 sets minimum for smaller muscle groups. Which muscles does this include? Biceps, triceps, traps, calves, abs, hamstrings. And I hate to call them necessarily smaller muscle groups, but that's just a good way to frame them. Because like the hamstrings really aren't a smaller muscle group, but you could do up to 6 sets for those. Triceps, you could probably do 9. It's just a general recommendation, so I don't want anybody to get their panties in a bundle, but it would work. That's a good starting point, and you can adjust from there. Some people don't need calf work. Some people don't need. I don't do a lot of core work. I don't do a lot of calf work. I have big calves, and I never felt I needed a lot of core work. Got you, Derek. Sorry, I just want to make sure I clarified. I'm going to help you either way. It's just with coaching on the running that I'm doing everything, and I have a deal. It's $599 through the race next July, and that seems like a lot of money, but if you look at it, what is it? What are we in September? You got October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 10 months. So it's like it's cheaper than coaching. How's it going, Johnny? Anything apart from cardio on rest days? Not really, man. I mean, I like to run, but I also like to relax. I like to not think about it. I like to reload and be ready for the next day. So I don't get off days, with my workload is super intense. But what do I do? You want to do something you enjoy on off days, get your head away from it. I like to play Rocket League on PlayStation 4. I'm an addict. I love to play it. I have to get in a half an hour a day. I have to get in my 3-4 matches a day. I love the game. So I also love going to antique shops and finding baseball stuff. I love baseball. So I try to do something on those off days that is not fitness. Excuse me. I get your point, Speed Pulse. Thanks, Milo. Who's your favorite deadlift specialist, form-wise or whatever? Good question. That's a hard question to answer because some of my hold on, I'll pull up something. Pull up something for you guys if I can find it here quickly. But I can't find it. I'll share with you sometime. Honestly, Dave, I follow a lot of the old school guys, and I'm still trying to find it. Stop it. My dog's back there licking its paw like crazy. I still can't find it. I don't follow a lot of powerlifting, Dave, and I don't follow a lot of strength stuff on Instagram anymore. Just don't have time for it, so I don't even know. I remember Tom Martin back in the day, and I know Faz knows who he is, so that I'd probably just leave it at that. VersaGrips are life changers. One of the best bits of advice you gave me, and I'm glad you're able to see the value. They're like $60. Mine are 12 years old, and they just keep going. And elbow tendonitis is probably the most common injury other than tweaks and niggles and strains from squats and deadlifts. And if you don't want elbow tendonitis, it can be brutally painful and there on a daily basis. VersaGrips are a game changer. Plus, they allow you to use extra weight on back exercises and allow you to build a bigger back because of that. So if I added lunges and something like rack pulls, would that be enough? Yeah, I mean, you can alternate exercises. You could do Bulgarian split squats one day, and then the next leg day you could do lunges. Rack pulls are good. But really when I'm talking about back work, you have dumbbell rows, barbell rows, Meadows rows, seated cable rows, pull-ups, slide pull-downs, machine rows. And for traps, you could do search on my channel for 5+5, shrugs 5+5, or power shrug hell. You could really find you can really work your shrugs and yoke that way as well. Geo Power, thank you for the $10, Geo. I appreciate it. Ben, the bench press 5, 10, 10, 20 is an awesome program. Ben, I'm glad you like it. What's funny about that program is I came up with an idea when I worked at Muscle and Strength. Like, so many lifters are focused on low rep sets. So I'm like, I'm going to do the opposite and see what happens. So I started using this program. And lo and behold, I find I really love it. Like that last set, even though you're lifting fatigued, that last set, it's just, I found it easier to progress on, easier to, like almost weekly, I was gaining a rep or moving up in weight for quite a while. Not a year, that would be impossible, but pretty frequently. And I find, like, of all the bench press programs I've put together, that program is liked the most, and that program has produced the best results. Do I know scientifically why? No. Do I know emotionally and mentally why people tend to like it? No. Would you be able to do the same program on squats and have people like it to the same level? Probably not. I mean, 20 rep squats are real challenging, but it's just funny that way. Guys, we have about 10 questions left, and we're in an hour. If you want, please get in your questions now. Post them up now. I'm going to stay on as long as you guys have questions. When I run out of questions, I will jump ship. Just know that I'm here every Friday at 11 Eastern. So, come on back next week and post up your questions. If you're a first-time viewer sitting by watching, don't be shy. I'd love to hear from you. I respect you on so many levels. Not dealing with or handling the bull is definitely one of them. Thank you, Ben. It's been a long ride for me. Back in the day when I was at Muscle and Brawn, I kept a really tight ship. I never swore. I always kept a tight forum. And over the years, I've changed a little bit and loosened a little bit. But some of my biggest, like as you age, sometimes you learn to be more direct, because sometimes you need to be direct to help people. You need to cut through the bowl and just say, this is what you need. And when I was younger, I didn't always do that. Sometimes I was a little bit too nice. So as I age, sometimes I worry too much that I'm too direct, if that makes sense. On Arnold OHPs, are Arnold OHPs better than regular OHP? No. When you do comparisons of similar lifts, the answer is almost always do both. Or you could do both during the course of a year. You could do Arnold's for one period of the year for 3-4 month block, and then do regular dumbbell overhead presses. Or you could alternate week in and week out. So that's the best route overall. Shoulder day right before back biceps, absolutely fine. Shoulders work the front and side delts and triceps, and generally will not impact back and biceps. Now, if you're going into the only day I really don't like to do before back and biceps is chest. Now, if you're deadlifting on back day, then this is applicable. I don't like to go into back day or deadlift day with a sore chest. It feels weird when I'm standing up, and I always have this odd fear that I'm going to tear a pec. But I've never had any issue with a shoulder day. Shoulder day after back and biceps. I read that as before. I'm sorry. No, there's no issue at all. The one caveat I will say is if your biceps are super sore, it might make your pressing work harder. So if that is the case, then on the back biceps day, I might remove biceps and put them after shoulders, and then plug something in with back. Like with back, you could do traps and abs and whatever. So that, just look at it like that. Rico, in your experience, did you enjoy full body or upper lower split? I hate full body. I never did full body other than just trying to like it, for weeks on end, and just too many exercises. It's just not something I enjoy. It's just something I find is best for lifters in their first 4 to 6 weeks, not necessarily from a result standpoint, but it's just more pragmatic for most people. I'm a body part split guy or a pro split guy. So I've done that 90% of my life. Even upper lowers I find tedious. When I was at my strongest, I did frequency training, but what I would do, I was doing very minimal lifts. So I do heavy bench and heavy close grip bench and stuff like that one day. And then the next day I do squats and deads, depending on what I feel. Usually some squats and followed by some heavy deads. Not a lot else. I have a year of lifting under my belt, but it feels as if the chest development is lacking towards the sternum area, and I cannot do flies because of a bad shoulder. Flies can sometimes bother shoulders. So for chest development, I would suggest making sure you're doing a dumbbell bench variation for 3 sets of 10-ish. Do 2 sets of dips and push-up supersets. So you want to do dips for about 10 to 12 reps. Immediately drop down to the floor and do very controlled push-ups, not reckless. So that's a good next step. That'll be good for your chest. After that, after you've done like a barbell bench, a dumbbell bench, dips and push-ups superset, you could do a plate-loaded chest press, pec deck, cable crossovers, etc. Those are generally a lot better on the shoulders. Stretch before or after workout. Jake, when I started running at 13, and I was a child of the 70s, right? So we always stretched. And as I grew older, I just found no value at all. The only time I would ever stretch or foam roll or whatever is if I had some tightness or existing soreness. But I'm not a big fan of stretching. If you're going to stretch, don't do it before. I'm generally not a need to do it before. If you have a tight area, roll it out, loosen up a little bit, put on, some balm to heat that area up. But if you're sore, like the next day or whatever, you can do some stretching or yoga or even active recovery like walking or running just to get the blood flowing. Can we use the soreness we feel the next day as a measure? No. And here's why. Because soreness varies from person to person. Some of it can be genetic. Soreness will vary from muscle to muscle group. And here is like over the years, I rarely ever had my shoulders sore. It's hard to make your back sore. It's easy to make my hamstrings sore. And it's easier to make my chest and triceps sore, hard to make my biceps sore. Everybody is different because we have different leverages and limb lengths and strengths and weaknesses. On top of that, it is my belief, and one day I hope to see if science proves or disproves this, that a lot of the soreness we experience is actually from the fascia and connective tissue. So let me explain why. Peanut, my dog's licking its ass back there. Sorry, it's just disgusting. I'm sorry I had to share that with you guys. So let me explain. The connective tissue and fascia in and around a muscle, two things you need to understand. It has 9 times more sensory neurons than the muscle tissue, so it's more sensitive to pain, right? You can sense pain more, 9 times more sensory neurons. And each muscle has a very unique fascia and connective tissue makeup. So that would make sense as to why one area gets more sore than another area, because it has a different fascia connective tissue makeup, and because the fascia and connective tissue has 9 times more sensory neurons than a muscle. So it is my belief that a lot of the soreness and pain we feel is not muscular in nature at all. So I hope that makes sense. And Collagen, thanks, you bet. How long do you think it might take until the 1.5 pounds a month lean bulking recommendation drops down because of getting close to natural potential? Once you get your arms to 16 and your body fat percentage is maybe around 15 to 18%, you probably want to slow the bus a little bit. That's probably a good time to do the 3-4 months bulk, 1 month cut, 3-4 months bulk, 1 month cut. Or you could try to gain 6 to 12 pounds in a year and then spend a month cutting it off. Rory, is there a simple method to track weight gain? I track calories and weigh-ins every day, but seeing my weight constantly fluctuate. All right, guys, I want you to hold on for a second, because I'm going to try to show you a client's weight that's been with me for a long time. And we're going to look at the long picture. We're going to look at some real data. Hold on here, if I can find it. So hold tight. I'm going to try to find a client that has been with me for a long time and has been submitting weight for a long time. So hold on. I got to find the right guy. Just bear with me. Bear with me. All right, let me see if this is a good example. All right, okay. All right, this is, I'm going to share this. This is a client, okay, that's been with me for quite a long time. So we did a little bulk, we did a little cut, we did a little bulk. You can see the peaks and valleys. I have my clients weighing in twice a week, but you can see the curve is basically linear here, even though it's got some cycles, some undulation. The curve is basically linear. The same with the cut. You have ebbs and flows and undulations. Same with the bulk again. So the point is, you're going to see that. But what we look for, let me share that again. what we look for is change over time. So right here he was 166, and here he was 186. So basically 20 pounds gained. Was it a pretty aggressive bulk? Let's see, that was October to April. November, December, January, February, March, April. So 6 months, he gained like 20 pounds. That's extremely unusual. And I generally don't let my clients do that. But Ryan was training super hard and wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. So to answer your question, you want to do something like that where you can look at the bigger picture, what the curve is actually doing. It should look quite linear despite the fluctuations, if that makes sense. And thank you, Yusha. I appreciate it. Is sumo deadlift closer to squat than for example, RDL? I don't know. It's a very unique lift, and you can't really, it depends on the individual and their limb lengths and leverages and stuff like that. I hate to be like that. I hate to be like that. I just really, really do, because it's something that oops, sorry. I just accidentally clicked on something. Where were we? Each lift is going to be very, very different. Very different. So, I hate to say it's like this or like that. It's a sumo deadlift. That's the bottom line. It's just a sumo deadlift, and it's not really, it is what it is. I wouldn't consider it more closer to a squat than an RDL. It's a sumo deadlift. It's a very unique exercise. What's your opinion about Ryan Humiston? His programs are usually a 15 and 20 reps, very hard, and a failure. Well, I don't have an opinion about Ryan Humiston, but I want to stress that this is an opinion of his programming. Way too much exercise diversity, not really great form, and he focuses on a little bit disingenuous because he built his physique with using heavy lifts. And, now he uses like the isolation stuff. So I like my programs. Let's put it that way. I think Ryan's stuff is generally some of the lower tier stuff in the industry, and I'll leave it at that. I'm doing push-pull legs, but I always sore when my next push-pull legs days come. Or should I switch over? Well, I would, because obviously you're working hard, and because you're working hard, you're getting, you're sore. You're 3 months into training. It's probably a good idea to not necessarily move from push-pull legs, but maybe dial it down a bit, maybe do an upper-lower, or even a body part split. There's no downside. In fact, a lot of the research shows that there's potential upsides. Guys, get your questions in. We're an hour and 18 minutes in. Got a few questions left, so get them in now. Last call. Do you have any opinions about metabolic training? No, not really. Are there any value? There can be value in pretty much anything. Okay, there can be value in pretty much anything, but I like to keep things simple. I like to keep lifting simple, because the fastest way to make progress is to look at what 99.99% of people have done to get results and say, what are the commonalities? And that's the best for most people. I don't know a lot about metabolic training. It purports to get the biggest bang for your buck, but is often, it says it's often misrepresented as workout till you puke. I just like conventional stuff. Let's just leave it at that. For home gym using HLM, use same lifts or figure out other lifts. Dave, I would not do an HLM with the same lifts, 3 times a week. A lot of overuse. I would, if I'm doing HLM, I'm going to do maybe 2 sets of 6, 3 sets of 6 for bench, For a heavy day, light day, I might do dips and push-ups, supersets. And for my moderate day, I might do 3x10 dumbbell bench. So something like that. Buffalo Joe. I bought 2 shirts and Creatine, but haven't had any response. Joe, email me at benthebarman@gmail.com so I can check the order. Something got messed up. And a lot of times my emails regarding the store stuff will get tossed into spam. So obviously I missed it somewhere. I apologize. But I will make it up to you. I'll refund you and get your stuff out. For me, your best advice was chasing +1s. That's a simple, best way to do it. Thank you for your time. Thank you. And Helena, fair enough. You're welcome. I'm not against anything, but I just want everybody to have their foundation in conventional stuff. So last call, guys, last call. Post up a question now or I'll be ripping the parachute. Richard, would lifting shoes help with high bar squat? Currently use Chuck Taylors or sometimes barefoot. For some people, yes. What we are looking at a lot of times is people look for shoes as a solution instead of fixing their squat first. And I'm not saying that's inherently the case for you, Richard, but people sometimes think shoes will be the solution instead of, fixing their squat first. So what we want to do with troubleshooting is try to fix your squat with existing shoes. And if that's not working, then we'll maybe try a little bit of heel elevation. So, if you're using Chucks, I'd like to see your squat form, Richard, from the side. Squats, I'd like to see from the side and back. So if you want to send that to me, that'd be great. And thank you, Buffalo Joe. I appreciate it. My right shoulder rolls forward and the scapula wings outward. Is there a way I can fix my shoulders? Well, I'm no expert on that, Yush, but I can tell you that if you attack your shoulders for strength, your back with strength, and your chest with strength, you're going to balance that type of training. You're going to encourage the best possible strength and balance in your shoulder girdle, and that will only help. Johnny says, thank you. Thank you, Johnny. William Baker, any recommendations for working up to a 1-rep max bench? Meaning how many warm-up sets? William, I'm going to refer you to something, and you guys hold on here a second and maybe post up a question while I am looking for this. But William, I have videos of this on YouTube that are free. On my channel, you just go to the main page and you search 1-rep max. Let me just do that because whenever I mention my website, I want you guys to understand I'm just not peddling for cash. Anything I have on my website is usually for free on YouTube. So I'm not just trying to be, Mr. Salesman. Just understand that. So hold on one second. I'm going to try to go over to YouTube. Let me mute the tab. I'm going to go to my channel. I'm going to show you guys something. All right, so we go over to the channel. And right here, you got the little searchy button. I'm going to show you how to get it for free, and I'm going to show you a PDF I have for cheap. 1-rep max. You're going to search that. And videos, how to properly test your 1-rep max, how to warm up when testing your 1-rep max. So there's 2 videos that lead off the search, and those are 2 really good videos that can help you, William. Beyond that, let's see here. If you go over to my website and go store and ebooks, or you can just go to the search and go 1-rep. And you see how to peak, test your 1-rep max. Okay. And that has information in there as well. And that's only $9.99 if you want something that is carved in stone. Thank you so much. It's midnight here. Sleep well and have a great weekend. I forgot it was Friday. I honestly did. Thank you, sir. Another great live. Thank you. You as well, Richard. And I appreciate your continued support. Spectacular. You are the best. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I sincerely appreciate your support. To be able to do this for a living is a true honor. And Helena, cheers for all the free advice. Yourself, John Meadows, and Mike Israetel feel like knowledgeable coaches in my ear. I appreciate being mentioned in the same breath as those individuals. It means a lot. Anybody that knows me knows I've been doing this for 15 to 18 years, and my content has stayed about the same, but I've matured over the years a little bit. And, my delivery is always evolving, and I'm grateful for that. Have you experimented with Olympic lifts in the past? Olympic lifts are not great for muscle size. Some variations can be good for muscle size. So I don't want to anger anybody. There are some variations that I have used, like instead of a power clean, I've done something I believe Doug Hepburn used to do, and that's pulling the bar off the ground to about the belly button level, like almost a high pull. So I've used Olympic variations for strength, but all Olympic lifts in general are not as good as conventional strength or conventional muscle and strength training. So that's my opinion. I mean, Olympic lifts are really, can Olympic lifts help you with muscle and strength? Yeah, of course they can. But, for the average individual, just basic muscle strength, conventional stuff is the best. And play around with Olympic lifts on the side. I have played around with them, and like the snatch, right? I just don't feel naturally built for it. I used to play around with it out in my yard with the barbell and be able to drop the barbell on the ground, and I just never felt comfortable with it, to be honest with you. So I have nothing against trying them. Any form of physical activity is worth investing time in to see if you like it. But I think you really need a base of conventional power building, strength, and muscle building stuff, and then play around with them for fun, see if you like them. But I wouldn't make them your bread and butter for strength and muscle building. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I appreciate your support. We're an hour and a half in. If you want coaching, head over to my website, superlivingtoday.com. It's $80 a month with a 3-month commitment. And I'm with you every day. I'm not one of these coaches that just emails you weekly. In fact, for some clients, I probably message too much. That's what they're going to get with me. I'm 100% accountability. How you doing? What's going on? Push, push, push. So if you want coaching, it's completely tailored to your needs. And when you head over to my website, share screen, here we go. Head over to my website, it says coaching. You click on that, and there's muscle and strength coaching. And with the muscle and strength coaching, I tailor everything to you. We'll do daily form assessments. I'll build you a workout. We'll work on nutrition. We'll work on whatever you need, accountability, whatever you need, it's tailored to you. If you don't lift and just want weight loss and accountability, I have weight loss coaching. It's basically the same thing. And over here, you have Team Massive as well. Just a reminder, the first 20 people, and I have about 8 spots left. I haven't checked the store since I've been on the live, but please join this. It's an exciting new thing for me. And I'm not Greg Doucette. I'm not Mike Israetel. It's not going to make me fat stacks and buy me a Lamborghini. We'll probably get, probably 200 people on here. But it's an opportunity to connect in not just a coaching environment, but a community environment. It's going to be strongly moderated. We're going to not have trolls and profanity and political crap and all that kind of stuff. Just lifting, right? Just lifting. My wife's going to have a group, and she's going to have a forum. And we can talk anything, running, off topic. You can come form help from me. You can come ask me questions privately. It's like having me in your back pocket for the rest of my life until I croak, right? Or become eternal, which is unlikely to happen. But I'll put an asterisk in case it does. So, for $99, we're not doing the Amazon thing where you pay $99 a year. You get this for the rest of your life. And you can come and go, man. You can come and go. You can get workout advice today from me and come back in 3 months, and it'll still be there. So join Team Massive. Tons and tons of benefits. Private members only forum, groups for every need. You get 4 free PDF books. These are my big hitters, not my small hitters, my best 4 books. Ask me for them. You can DM me. You get form checks, workout customization. You can upgrade to coaching and get a first month free. You can be on our strength team, our muscle building team. You get a store savings of 20% off everything. I got to set that up yet. Members only videos, members only articles, a running group, member of the month, and monthly challenges. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Enough of the sales. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And secret here, my little puppy's been sleeping on me the whole time. But I appreciate you guys joining me. Please come back next Friday at 11 Eastern. Thank you guys and have a great weekend.